welcome to my channel, Mom Motivation. This is Ashley Robert, your number one mom motivator, or as I like to call myself, Mom Motivator. Welcome to my channel. Do subscribe, like, share our videos, and also drop some comment for us, because we would like to read from you, would like to get your feedbacks. Without much ado, I'll be diving in straight to my topic for today, and that is how to establish an effective school preparation routine for our children. A lot of moms find it difficult to get their kids ready for school with very minimal effort. School time is always a very stressful time. That is when they yell the most. That is when they're worked up the most. That is when they are angry the most. That is when they're overwhelmed the most. Getting the children ready for school is always a Herculean task for most moms. So today I'll be sharing some basic routine or templates that you can use to set up getting ready for school routine for your children. Like I shared in my previous video, planning is key to achieving anything you want to do as a mom. And I stated that a plan is not a one-size-fits-all. What works in a particular home would not work in another home, because our home structure and nomenclature are different. The people involved, the ages of the people involved, that's your children, the amount of help or support that you get, they are different. Your situation is different. So you need to understand how your home is, the makeup of your home, to be able to set up a plan. If you didn't watch my video on how to set up an effective plan, I will drop the link below in the description, so you can just, after watching this video, click on it and find out how you can set up a working plan for your home so that it's easier for you to adopt this template. So what I'll be sharing today is just a template. It's something you can take and adapt it to suit how your home runs. But like I said, a template is just a base. It's like a foundation. You can now build on it. For you to set up an effective school preparation routine for your children, first thing you must do is establish a bedtime. Establishing a bedtime for your children is sacrosanct. It's non-negotiable. Remember, in my last video, I mentioned things that could affect you putting that plan in place. So you must have set up a bedtime plan for your children before you can start setting up this routine. But not have the kids staying up late till like 12 and 1 a.m. I hear a lot of children stay up so late watching TV, and then you want to wake them up early to get ready for school. They're going to be cranky. They will fight you. They will not make it easy for you. You will say wake up, they go back to bed. You say do this, they will cry. But the more they don't want to follow through with what you're asking them to do, the more frustrated you get. So you must set up a good bedtime to enable the kids get adequate rest, get enough sleep, so that when you're waking them up, you're not feeling guilty like, oh, this child just had like 5 hours of sleep or 6 hours of sleep. You know the child has slept for at least 8 hours and has had sufficient sleep. So when you wake the child up and they're kind of feeling cranky, you know that it's just because they want to sleep, not because they have not gotten enough sleep. So bedtime is sacrosanct. Establish a working bedtime. Then the next thing you want to do, like I've said, understand the nomenclature of your home. Do you have kids that are old enough to do certain things by themselves? Can they brush by themselves? Can they take a bath or a shower by themselves? Can they dress themselves? Can they feed themselves? So when you're setting up a school preparation routine, you have to take those things into consideration. Like I mentioned in my last video, you cannot have the plan a person with a 12-year-old cannot be the same with someone with a 2-year-old. A 2-year-old cannot take a bath by themselves, they cannot brush by themselves, they cannot feed themselves. These are things you have to do by yourself, or you get someone to do for you. So if you must set up a plan, you need to take into consideration the people, your children. Are they, their ages? How are they? Do they need assistance, or is it something they can do by themselves? Understand the nomenclature of your home and know how you can set up this plan. If you have older kids, all you need to do is automate it for them. By this time to this time, you should be brushing your teeth. I will do another video on my own personal school preparation routine. Everything is time boxed. So by the time we did it over and over again, I didn't need to supervise the children anymore. Their system, their body started to align to the system because everything was time boxed. So when you're setting up this routine, you need to understand your children, you need to understand their ages and find out what they or cannot do for or by themselves. And that will help you also set up that school preparation routine. Then the next thing you need to do is now adopt and adapt a suitable plan for you. Once again, watch my planning video to know how to adopt and adapt a plan that works for you. I talked about running and rerunning the plan until you get it right and know what works best for you. So what I mean by adapting and adopting, you will find out what works for you first. Is it the kids having breakfast first before taking a bath and getting dressed, or taking a bath first, dressing up and having their breakfast, or taking a bath, having their breakfast in their undies and coming back to wear their uniform? So those are things I'm talking about adapting and adopting, because along the line you will begin to find some flaws in the plan, and that is when you need to adjust the plan. Remember when I talked about you being part of the plan as you're initiating it, so you can see the pitfalls and know where to adjust. So adopt a plan that's suitable and adjust and adapt the plan until it becomes effective for you. Then the next thing you want to do is clarity in defining the tasks. Define the task with clarity. Everything that needs to be done. Don't just give an instruction, or like I talked about communication in my last video. Be clear on what you are saying. If you're saying that the children, don't just say things like wake the children up early. Have a time box for it. The children, you wake them up by 6 a.m. or wake them up by 5:55, so that by the time they are cranky and all that, they can wake up by 6, or start waking them up by 5:50. Whatever thing that you have tested, it works. Maybe your children take a longer time to boot. You might want to add 5 or 10 minutes extra time to their waking up time. You see, so if you want them to wake up by 6 and they take a long time to boot, drag themselves, you might want to wake them up by 5:55. So you need to communicate this vision clearly to yourself and to whoever that is part of the plan. So set a time, know the time you're waking them up, and then you're putting a timeline. You're saying when they wake up, the first thing I want them to do is brush their teeth. So as the children are getting up from their bed, they're heading straight to the bathroom to brush their teeth. That's the routine. If they need to use the bathroom, they need to poo or whatever, that's the period they do it as well. And then you say, after brushing your teeth, I want you to proceed to the kitchen or to the dining to have your breakfast, or I want you to proceed to the bath to take a shower, or whatever. You know what you want to do. At every point in time, your child should know what they ought to do. Not they're asking you, Mom, I've brushed my teeth, what next should I do? Should I eat first, or should I go and wear my uniform first? You would have clearly defined the goal, that they don't need to come back to you to ask you what's the next thing they ought to do. So every child already knows, as I'm waking up, I'm going straight to brush my teeth. After brushing my teeth, I use the toilet if I want to go, use the toilet. Then I take a bath, wear my pants and my singlet, or wear my undies, then go downstairs or go to the dining or wherever they have their breakfast, have my breakfast, then come back and wear my uniform. you see. So the goal is clearly defined. If they need to be fully dressed before going to eat, they know it. So don't keep changing the routine because you confuse the children. You need to be clear on the tasks they need to do part-time and be consistent in that task so that it becomes automated. Children can be programmed. Children are like computers. It's whatever you do, they just follow it sequentially. So be clear in the task you're setting so that they know exactly what they should be doing per time. Then the next thing you want to do is to time box every process. I think I've already mentioned something like that as I was talking. You need to time box every process. Time box wake up time. This is the time to wake up. Time box it. By 6 o'clock, the children, I don't want to see any child on the bed. They should have been out of the bed by 6 o'clock. Between 6 o'clock and 6:05, they should have finished brushing their teeth. Between 6:10 and this, they should be taking a bath or they should be having breakfast. Between this time and this time, they should have been done with breakfast and they should be doing this other task. You see what I'm saying? So you time box your routine, you time box the tasks that they're supposed to perform. And at every point in time, they know that if let's say after brushing their teeth, the next thing is to take a shower. And you're already telling them by 6:30, you should have been done with your shower. By 6:45, you already know that child is late. And that child should know that he or she is already late. They're behind schedule because by that 6:45, they should be having breakfast. So when you time box the tasks, you minimize wastage because when you are time conscious, you are very brisk, you're very brief in whatever you're doing. There's no long delay. What I did was that I put in a clock in my children's room and I put in a clock in their bathroom. So as you're taking your bath, you already know you're not supposed to stay beyond a certain time in the bathroom. So as you're dressing up, you're checking the time, you know that by this time, let's say my own time is like 7 o'clock or 7:10, you should already be having breakfast. So if you're still in the room by 7:15, you're already behind schedule. You know you're wasting time. You've wasted a lot of time. You don't even need me to come and remind you. So I will still do a video on how I was able to, plan school preparation routine and how I was able to time box everything. Timing is everything. You need to time box the tasks so it's easier for you to execute them. So the next thing you want to do, like I said before, you need to be actively involved at the onboarding stage. As you are starting that process, you need to be involved. You need to see whether this thing you're saying is realistic. For example, if you're putting 20 minutes for bath time, what if it takes longer? Let's say you have just one bathroom and you have like 6 children that need to take a bath in that one bathroom. How is that 20 minutes going to suffice? What can be done to mitigate it? Do you need 2 people to get into the bathtub at the same time? These are things you need to do. You need to be actively involved. Don't just create these routines and put a time box on it without checking it, being part of it to check whether this will actually work or not. So you need to be involved in that. As you're establishing a school preparation routine, you need to be there. As you're waking them up, you need to see the challenges with waking the children up, like I mentioned. If they take a longer time to boot, you need to find that out and factor it into the waking up time. Not that you say you want them to wake up by 6 and they have a very long time to boot, and before they finish booting, it's like 10 minutes, it's already gone from the time, it's already 6:10, and that's when they're getting off the bed. You will be behind your schedule. So when you're involved, you know the impediments and you know what to do to mitigate them. So it's not just enough to give instructions, to give suggestions without knowing what is involved. Be part of the process, so that when you're giving instruction to someone saying this is what I want to be done, and the person is saying it can't be done, you're telling the person this is something I've done and it's possible, it's achievable, I've done this before. So be involved, and you find out that you'll be able to establish an effective school preparation routine. Thank you so much for joining once again. I hope you find these tips very useful. Share it to moms that have been finding it difficult to set up an effective routine for their children. This template works like magic. Like I said, it's just a template. This is not what it is. Adapt it to your family structure and build a routine and a system that works for you, so you can reduce the burnout and be more effective in your life. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our video. Till I come your way next time, I still remain Ashley Roberts, your motivator. See you next time.